already know what time it is. You're Warren Mac, this is the host with the most, never need to brag no boast. All we ever did was give a toast to the real folk who done paved the way in a real way for us players to play. I parlay this good game for y'all today. And I got my right hand with me as usual. None other than the critically acclaimed, lyrically game, WI in the building. Salute my brother. What's happening?
You already know, man.
Keeping it cool, calm, and collected out there. And
Live in the
perspective. No, I hear you. How's the weather? How you feeling?
cooler than a cucumber, man. I can't complain. That's it. Taking my time with it, but still on the climb with it. Slow motion is better than no motion, so I'm just coasting.
Word up. No, I had to break this shit down with you because this shit's crazy. You got this rapper by the name of Troy Ave. You know Troy Ave, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really understand him, you know. He got into the public eye after that Irving Plaza shooting, you know. You know, him and Taxto went back and forth. They ended up bucking him at a show. That was with T.I. So we got into a scuffle. Bluetooth's back. His boy Banger ended up dead. And then Choya was caught wrestling with the gun. And then he's seen on camera shooting at Homeboy while Homeboy was running out.
Right.
Now, two twos. Fast forward a couple of years now. So a couple of days ago, he did a little skit, which I already knew was a skit. The way I seen it like, yo, come on, this guy is staging shit.
Right.
But he did a skit that portrayed like he's rolling with his boy, and then a would-be robber comes out of nowhere, tries to attack his boy, so he shoots the guy, you know?
Yep.
You know, it seemed like it was a real thing, you know? But it wasn't a real thing, you know? It was made up. So I'm looking at it like, what are you trying to prove with this? What message are you trying to convey?
I'm trying to win an Oscar.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I can show you better than I can tell you, you know? It's all about activity with me. But at the same time, it's like, you look at a situation like this, what's going through these guys' heads? Is clout that much of a drug that makes you do whatever, irrespective of what's going on, huh?
Yeah.
Of who you're affecting or infecting? It's pretty much laughable because TMZ reported on it, acted like it was real. And the next day they're like, oh, it was staged. So I'm like, if it was staged and y'all know it was staged, why would y'all report on it so quick? So you got to watch all these so-called
Media outlets.
official news media outlets because they're just doing the same thing as any other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
any other outlet that's independent. They're just trying to be first, you know. They ain't trying to fact check nothing. They're trying to be sensitive about any situations. They're just trying to get as much views as they can, which is a
Exactly.
lot of both, even though they're syndicated. You know? So that's a lot of shit to unpack right there, you know. So he does a video of the internet up in a frenzy because we're thinking, oh, you know, got into another thing, you know what I'm saying? People are saying, oh, calling Troy Wick and all this goofiness. And then they end up all being fake.
Right.
While there's kids out there that's really going through it, that's really doing the drill stuff. What type of insight on bettering their lives is he giving? What type of, you know what I mean? Knowledge and know-how is he trying to portray by doing this? It really makes no sense to me.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go ahead with Jig Smooth on this one, and he's gonna break it down. And we're gonna talk about it. Fair use act, and you know it's all about educating the youth, man, and bringing a wider, bigger perspective. Because if you don't have the education, how you gonna see both sides of the spectrum, you know? But these guys are
Right.
trying to give these guys false game, you know, and it's messing up the whole industry.
All for the clout or the paper, whatever it is very selfish. Very selfish because they don't understand what. I
Was
mean, they
Troy
do
Smith
Check
understand.
it out.
That's
Jacko and exposed for lying about getting into a shootout. Now, a couple days ago, a friend of Troy Ave posted this video of an incident that happened after they got home. They parked, got out the car, started walking, and then you can see somebody creep up behind and try to rob them. Now, immediately, Troy Ave springs into action. He whips out his gun, shoots the robber. The robber runs away, and Troy started giving him his flowers, saying Troy Ave is a real one. He'll always bust his gun. Troy Ave even went on his page to brag about it. He said, I'm a father of boys and a soldier of God, so I can't play games. My Call of Duty hit different. Mission, get Bentley. Lie. Now, let me first read the caption for you guys that was posted by Troy Ave's friend. He said, I came home after celebrating the success of a sold out Chef Fest with love, but it won't be a third. Shout out to my brother Av for holding it down in a situation where most would have ran or folded. I'll never let the hate stop me from showing love. Somebody else said, man, you was reaching for the stripe before Buddy came around the corner. Why you gotta fake that shit for clout? Shit corny as fuck. Well, TMZ actually reached out to the local cops in that area and also the people involved and turns out the whole thing is a sham, you guys. Now, if you guys actually go to that post, a lot of people were actually in the comments calling it out and calling it fake. Somebody said it's so many things to point out that's a dead giveaway. The caption and him celebrating success, him facing the way the intruder crept but kept acting like he didn't see him, the intruder not saying a word or pointing the gun, the first shot his man took at the wall, no cement or smoke flying from the wall, shot placements the whole time he was chasing. Man, the list goes on. Somebody else said, man, you was reaching for the stripe before Buddy came around the corner. Why you gotta fake that shit for clout? Shit corny as fuck. Well, TMZ actually reached out to the local cops in that area and also the people involved, and turns out the whole thing is a sham, you guys. TMZ said sources who've been in direct contact with the bogus bad boys have confirmed the whole scene was fake. No one actually attempted to rob Jeff, and we're told Troy did not actually fire any live rounds. That lines up with what law enforcement told us too. Cops in San Diego County told us they had no reports of a shooting or attempted robbery involving Troy or Jeff. Now, some people are saying, well, this could all be a cover up because Troy Ave is a felon. This is all to protect him so he doesn't have to do time in prison. Well, you got to think about it this way, you guys. If you got a friend that's a felon and he just did some real shit for you like this, would you actually post this on social media and risk your friend getting into trouble? It would make zero sense for the friend to actually post this incriminating footage unless this actually was fake and scripted. Troy Ave and his man Jeff should have planned this a little bit better. Now, people are going to ask, well, what does he gain from this? Clout, you guys. He gains clout. On average, Troy Ave averages about 50 comments on his Instagram post. However, this post of him talking about the shooting got him about 200 comments. Tax Stone, who is currently doing time in prison due to his incidents with Troy Ave, he reacted to the news saying, I told y'all, Tubi, y'all believe anything these primates post on the internet. Negro had his girl participate in a fake million cash coming home. Fake ass real estate purchases, y'all have to understand artificial degeneracy when you see it. Yikes. Come on, Troy Ave. You don't gotta go out like this, brother. People already have a very skewed reputation of you. And now, unfortunately, this incident is only going to reinforce it. You could have staged any other situation to get your name out there. A fight, a pregnancy test with a chick, a cheating scandal, anything besides a shootout. This is all nasty. Listen, man, you guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of TMZ confirming that this Troy Ave shootout was actually fake? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? Clout is a hell of a drug.
Exactly.
These cats are out of their mind. Like, now, by him doing that, how sensitive would that be to his boy's family, you know?
Yeah. No, exactly. It's kind of a
You
spit in the,
reenacting something like that.
like you're not taking it serious. You think it's a joke just because you're alive. You know, like you can't really play with
Yeah,
death
you
like
know?
that. It's not, and if you're not making a movie, like yo, don't or like maybe a documentary or like something to where you're trying to convey a message. Like don't play with it like that. That's nothing to play with. You know what I mean?
Talking
Shouldn't
about,
be a thing. Shouldn't be a clout chase at all.
it shouldn't, eh? Because that opens up a whole heap of bullshit. Now people could say all types of shit, you know? Talking
Right.
about, oh, you didn't do your mans like that. You know what I'm saying? All that. You know? You're opening up for all types of bullshit to be said about you, bro. And you're just gonna freaking act like it doesn't affect you. 'Cause it should affect you. Unless you're a
Right.
piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And from the
Exactly.
jump, I was like, yo, this cat is not real, man. How can you go in front of the steps at the courthouse and say he won, I won, because you put the guy in jail, but you took the stand. And second of all, it's like you're making a mockery of the whole shit, bro. How did you win? Nobody won in that situation, you know?
Exactly.
It's all about ego, you know? So now that he's making his money, making his little moves, little 2B movies and shit like that, you think he could play with it? You know? The situation, and it's just not the case. You know?
Yeah, it's what you said, man. Just think about how the family members of that deceased person feel. You know, it's supposed to be a boy too. Like that's even worse. Like you're not showing any type of compassion for that situation. You know, and to say you want to reenact that is like is retarded. Because at the end of the day, you're lucky. You know, if you would have got unalived or paralyzed or anything like that, would you still have the same type of energy? Obviously not if you're unalive, but I'm saying if you got paralyzed, you know, like would you still want to reenact some bullshit, or would you like say, okay, guys, guns are bad, don't play with it, you know? So it's like not understanding how blessed you are to have gone through a situation like that and come out on the other side with everything intact. You don't realize how blessed you are, you know, and you're taking that for granted doing what you're doing. So it's like you don't even deserve that blessing at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Skippy, right? So now that you need a little buzz, you want to reenact the same thing, talk about the
Right,
same stuff over and over again,
right.
and that's not right. That's not real, bro. Because then people are gonna look at you like, "Yo, are you playing with the thing?"
Yep.
You know?
Nobody's
That's
gonna
that's the
respect
fun, that's the funny thing about it.
Nah, I can't say nobody, but anybody with a half a brain in their head and they lost somebody to gun violence, they know. Like it's nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you're defending yourself on the real level, but it's another thing if you're trying to make it do it just to make yourself seem more than you are. Like that doesn't. It's not a good look. Still,
It's not a good look, you know, and it makes me feel like this guy just doesn't care. You know,
right?
you know what I mean? He's preaching the streets is a myth. The streets is a myth. Well, you're a myth. Because I don't get it. Who acts like that? It's really, really, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's totally insensitive to your homeboy. You know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit he could have did instead of that. He chose to do the cornball shit. Tell me how that makes sense. So I'm gonna go with Rock next monster. I want Rock to speak on this, you know, because he usually has some good insight.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna chop it up. Let's get it.
Welcome to the nation. I'm your host, your president, your tour guide, Mr. Monster Mirago. I'm the landlord, the owner, tenant, the janitor. I mops the damn floor. Let's go.
Haircuts. Half a haircut. Let's talk about Troy Ave. Up in because y'all fell for the other question. Are y'all mad that he's capping? You know, they calling him Jussie Smollett and they working out. This is him right now in this moment. Are y'all mad that he was capping, or are y'all mad because y'all believed it? Take all the time you need. Ask yourself this question. Because almost everybody is up here capping. Right? And y'all eat it up. Like y'all with every bit of the issues.com. So I'm just curious, I'm just surveying the landscape. You know what I mean? Because the man already said that he don't care. I mean, not that, I don't know if he said this specifically. I think he did, not verbatim, but some version of this. He don't care about the streets, the rules of the streets. And you shouldn't either, really, because the streeters of all street dudes don't follow those rules. They do what they want. That's what makes them street. Obeying, you know what I'm saying? Obeying somebody's rules. I mean, yeah, there's a certain code and all of that, but I keep telling you, the biggest, some of the illest hitters is snitches. You know why? Because what you gonna do to them? Not you. You know what I mean? Most people, you may not be a snitch, but you still ain't on his level. He unfortunately, he's still tougher than you, snitching and all. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to the question. Back to the original thought. Are we mad that we believed it? Do we want it? We wanted to believe in Troy Ave? It's like, I mean, because listen, in his situation with Taxstone and all of that, yeah, he told. I was defending him until I couldn't no more, because I wasn't defending the fact that he told. I just didn't think that he told. I thought that he basically, he pled self-defense, and to plead self-defense, you gotta let a nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's one of them things in the street. Like, if I can't plead self-defense, then you know what, bruh? The hell with your street rules. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm a rat for pleading self-defense, in order to plead self-defense, I have to tell you that I have to tell the people that you tried to get me, so I got you. You know what I'm saying? I pulled out my Uno reverse card and I got you. You understand what I'm saying? That's, and there's certain things that we all, as a man, we all feel like we would take that rap for. Like somebody do something to certain, harm a family member, or, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things we like, we'll go with right on the stand and tell a judge I did it. Many of us have said that. Many of us have felt that. If we never said that, we feel that way about our daughters and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So if these streets is talking about you can't plead self-defense and, and going through with that is snitching, then y'all can keep all of that. That's where I personally sit. Right? But when I heard that, because that's what I thought it was, and that's what I was defending when I was defending Troy. When I heard that wasn't the situation was actually, wasn't even charged with that. He told it was something else. A little bit in my brain. I don't remember all of the details and all that, but it was something else. Like that wasn't even what it was. And I seen some documentation or whatever. Somehow or another, it was proven to me that that wasn't the situation. And then I just completely stopped talking about Troy Ave after that. From that point on, it was like I ain't got nothing good to say about him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I don't say nothing. But even though he told in that situation, a lot of that situation was on camera. The cameras caught him holding it down. So people kind of wanted to believe in him. You understand what I'm saying? Who can't respect the idea of, what he actually did in that moment? Like somebody came in there to get him. It went crazy. He disarmed them, and he, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can respect that. Nobody was mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why if it was a self-defense telling, then I wasn't calling that snitching or whatever. But anyway, it was something different. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is maybe as a culture we wanted to believe in Troy Ave. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw him hold it down in Irving Plaza and all that. That's if you ain't got nothing against him, then you're not going to hate on him for that. You know what I'm saying? But then he told, so it's like But then this happened. You know what I'm saying? He's on camera in case anybody's under a rock. Anybody's been under a rock. Troy Avenue has gone viral because he's on camera. He dumped shots at somebody who was trying to creep to rob him and his man. The would-be robber had the drop on his man already. Troy Ave jumped across the hood of the car. So I didn't see the actual video. I just seen everybody's reactions to it. And it was a lot, it was a lot of editing, and they didn't have the actual, but it was basically an Instagram skit. Bend the algorithm, you know what I mean? And now everybody's like, Troy Ave is a fraud. That's what everybody's saying. But I'm like, niggas get on debate shows and argue points they don't even really believe in. Niggas create all kind of skits about dates and Cheesecake Factory and y'all know that was fake, right? But y'all believed it, right? Y'all just I think it came out that had so much of what we see online is fake. You understand? Niggas is going viral because going viral equals money. In case nobody has told y'all explicitly, you go viral, you can get money from that. You know what I mean? So it's like people do a whole lot for likes and clicks or for clout. No, maybe clout, likes and clicks, but it all adds up to money, and that's what they doing it for. So it's like when I had to come up here, I ain't have to, but when I came on here and I talked about a bad situation, right? I don't even want to bring it up right now. I don't want to bring no attention to it. But I came up here talking about a bad situation. I got wild views on that video. In that moment, I was like, damn, I see why niggas be out here crashing out for views. That month, that was the most money I actually made since I've been on YouTube, that month, from that bad situation. I had to do a couple of vlogs on that bad situation. Wow views. I'm like, damn, if I was one of them niggas, you know what I'm saying? I'd be out here crashing out with the camera on. But not your boy. But let me know what y'all think. I already know what y'all think on the surface as far as like, y'all mad at Troy Ave. He 19 different kinds of frauds and all of that. But are y'all mad that he, that was fake? Or are y'all just mad that y'all believed the lie? Y'all wanted to believe in him. Cause y'all got to, I seen how dudes was our dudes was commenting on it. They was like, say what you want about Troy, but he on point. He blah blah blah. They giving him all his street medals back. They try to give back, place as many of his medals back on his vest as possible. Can't do nothing about the snitching one, but hey, he be on point. His instincts is good. He ain't going. And you just mad because you got duped. Tell the truth. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpayer citizen of the nation, leave me a super thanks or a cash app. We actually prefer the cash app, but y'all do, y'all. Y'all don't be listening. Y'all don't listen that good. Cash app tag going to be in the description along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for those of you who would rather hear me rap than hear me yap. All the mixtapes is there almost all of them. From Nonviolent Rocko, the newest one, all the way back to Shell Shock. So go get involved. If you tired of here, you don't want to hear me talk about nobody else's business, click the link. Also, scroll down and get involved with some of that merch I got. We got new merch and it's rocking right now. So, we got a lot of varieties. We got the Winter Monster, we got the Rockness Monster, we got the BCC jump oil. So just go down there and get busy. So also what was that? Yeah. When you're writing on the walls here, aka leaving comments, spell stuff correctly, please. It's ROCK. Except for the Crips. Crips get a pass. But you know what you gotta do. You gotta put a little cuz or a little cuz something in the comment. So I could, give you your immunity. Rest of y'all spell my jump off as MONSTA. A, not ER. It's Helter Skelter, not Helter Skelter. It's A.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, Rock was on some. Why y'all only picking on Troy Ave? He ain't the only one capping on the internet. It makes sense. When are we gonna just be like, yo, what are we doing? What are we really doing? The man basically doesn't really have a regard for his homeboy, man. He reenacted the same thing on the West Coast on some different shit just to spark up the conversation again. I think Banger should rest in peace, And I think Troy Ave has a bigger fish to fry, So I don't know what all this shit is about, but it's damn sure ain't making the most sense. That's all I'm saying. You back at it. You there? Because I can't hear you. Your mic is muted. You? Don't tell me they're messing with the stream again. Tell me they're messing with the stream again. God damn it. No. Let me go ahead and play MT rapper, Lil Bentley. R.I.P. to him. He was gunned down in Toronto. 6 in the morning, 30 shots. And you gotta ask yourself, damn, how does that even happen? Then you look at it and you're like, if Toronto's on a taking a turn like Chicago, the drill scene, I don't get why they're drilling so much. You know, I mean, things do happen, situations happen, but you went back and forth with the same bullshit. Always been the same situations. I don't understand why people don't get that yet.
Bell. But let's get right into it. Now, according to reports, Montreal rapper BFR affiliate Lil Bentley was the victim of the fatal shooting at Yorkdale Mall. Now, according to reports, police said they responded to the mall. Fire. Now 6:15 a.m. The mall is closed at that time, so he definitely got back door, or he went there to go do a deal, and that deal went wrong. So I don't know, man, but we know who run over there. But according to police, one victim was found at the scene suffering from gunshot wounds. Police confirmed that he was subsequently pronounced dead. Now, police told reporters at the scene that it's still early in the investigation, but they can say for sure that it wasn't a random shooting. Yeah, obviously, tell us something we don't know. It's not like they were coming out the mall and they ran into each other, then they pew. It was 6 something in the morning. And unfortunately, this get back, man. Let me know your thoughts, man. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Instagram, Rockboy Ninja, link in the description box.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man. You see that, eh? Yeah. So what do you think about this whole situation? Because I think, to me, we need to do away with this whole drill scene now. It don't make no sense. Because when people get hit up like this, people don't even bat an eye. They're like, yo, look how they're rapping, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what's messed up. When do we separate real life and fiction, you know?
Absolutely. No, you're right. And it's bad because we've become so numb to it. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
it ain't right. It ain't right. Something ain't right. When these things happen and people don't even like blink or, You know.
Yeah, it's there. They're not putting it in the right perspective, you know? And that's what pisses me off, because you would think people have more of a understanding as time progresses, you know? But
Nope. Just more numb. People are more numb to it.
yeah. But it's Canada too, you know? The laws and everything permit you to have a bunch of lawlessness going on, yeah? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no money talks, right? And there's a lot of cash going around, being spread around, because it's a lot of different nationalities here too, you know? That want a piece of the pie. So everything gets stirred up in a pot. And yeah, I really have a melting pot. Yeah. So it ain't easy out here. Because you mean to tell me that this dude was out 6 in the morning at the mall shopping for clothes and he got hit up? No. Even if you got touched doing getting set up, it's just sad, you know? Because well, you never know what he did, but is that the best way to handle things? You know? I don't know. Well, the way the laws are set up in Canada, they make your damn sure make you all weigh your options. I'll tell you that. Make you weigh your options, so to speak. And, there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about this country, man. The way the laws are set up, you can be a career criminal and make your money and actually not spend the rest of your life in jail. That's what some people do. You just don't care, you know? But reckless abandonment.
Yep. Yeah. Nah, Exactly that. These motherfuckers just become so numb that they don't even care no more. They're just like, yeah. Laws are so loose that, you know, I think they could get away with anything.
Well, it's a lot to think about when you really look at it. That's all I'm saying. Because after a certain age, you want to be like, nah, I don't want to deal with this bullshit no more. But you have a 1, 2, 3 videos with 1 million views. Talk about you doing a drill. You know? So niggas just watch that. Study your you know, just study your whole shit for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And then they make their move. And it's sad, you know. It's sad, that's all I'm saying. But did you see what happened to Detroit rapper T Grizzly?
Now, what happened to T Grizzly?
Oh man, this is what shit I got. But it seems like these rappers and things, and they do some weird shit. And when they're in the spotlight, they don't really want to get found out, so they try to do some shit, and it's messed up. It's clout, that fame,
Yeah.
a hell of a drug. But let's check this out. Fair Use Act. You already know. We'll have some commentary in between. Let's get it.
Family feuds with my
Grizzly, one of Detroit's most popular rappers, but earlier this week.
patient think I'm playing A-B. I wish I was sitting outside with you and I was in that back with you. You know your favorite rapper when it never.
Was she alive when did she die on the scene or the hospital?
I don't even. I think that no. She died at the hospital. She was still alive. She was still breathing and everything. She called me.
She called you
while she was shot. She called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying.
Oh,
she couldn't really form no words.
If I'm Detroit's very own T Grizzly, keeping a low profile. After this video, you might hear a lot of what if. Maybe a few people even saying nowadays when these rappers get married, they in some shit. Because truth be told, as our older generation would say, what's done in the dark will come to the light. Now, a lot of folks might not remember this, but about 7 years ago, T Grizzly lost someone publicly referred to as his aunt. Whether she was blood or not, that's still up for debate. But some say it was through marriage. But what we do know is that she was tragically gunned down while riding in the Uber. And by some twist of fate, T Grizzly had gotten out the same car just minutes before the shots had rained on. Now, at the time, everything seemed off, but nobody had real answers. Then about 2 months later, a man allegedly tied to one of T. Grizzly's groomsmen, a man connected to Lil Durk, someone tied to him from his same neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois, which we later discovered was arrested in connection with a murder. Since then, the case been cold in many people's lives. And yet, Detroit police still have an open $2,500 reward for more information. And that alone tells you everything ain't fully closed on this. But what if I told you that was just the surface? Because what I found out while digging into this court transcripts and trial updates and federal paperwork, found make it deeper, way deeper than what people may expect. Pause. Now, there, as of now, has been whispers that she might have been pregnant, allegedly, by T. Grizzly. And that wasn't even his blood aunt. But all that is he say, she say to this point. Because still, Grizzly called her his aunt. And that's what the world ran with. Not to mention he was signed to her, which some say is a clear motive. But today, I'm bringing y'all a full breakdown. Court documents, timelines, trial updates, and theories media skipped over. Because y'all will find out later in this video that someone is currently standing trial for her murder. And based on documents I've seen, I wouldn't be shocked if the feds step in once this trial is wrapped. In this video, we're going through everything from what happened that night in the Uber to who this man really is that's facing trial, to why certain people in Grizzly's circle started going ghost once the pressure came down. We're clearing up every rumor, laying out the facts. And like we always do, fam, at the conclusion, I'm here to hear from you once I lay everything on the table. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. T. Grizzly, born Terry Sanchez Wallace Jr., is a rapper straight out of Detroit, Michigan. He came up from tough circumstances, raised on the west side. His mom was sentenced to 20 years when he was just a teen, and his dad was killed in the streets. But instead of folding, Grizzly took to music. He gained national attention in 2016 with his breakout single, Stay Out.
All and fought for your life. Being broke did something to my spirit. Ass niggas to plug me. They act like they couldn't hear.
Now, that was a track he dropped just months after being released from prison for a robbery case tied to Kentucky, as he rapped about. The track blew up fast, doing millions of views in days, and earning cosigns from legends like Jay-Z and LeBron.
Hit the rolling stone with the rolling on. Jack portfolio.
From there, the momentum only grew. He dropped mixtapes, albums, and landed features with stars like Lil Durk and Meek Mill. But like most rappers with street ties, fame didn't come without a cost. The night he almost lost his life, or did he? Instead, his quote-unquote aunt did. In August of 2019, everything changed for T. Grizzly. He was riding through Detroit in a black Chrysler 300. A little after 9 p.m. on the 3600 block, a 3-mile drive on Tuesday, when the driver exited the vehicle, shots were fired from an unknown location. That driver was allegedly T. Grizzly going to his other aunt house at the location of the 3600 block of the 3-mile drive. A woman who took the stand today, almost 7 years later, which we'll later talk about. The bullet stuck Jobina Brown. May she rest in peace and love and condolences to her family.
Grizzly, one of Detroit's most popular rappers, but earlier this week, Jobina Brown was shot and killed on the city's east side. Tonight, we're hearing from a local radio show host who worked with Brown. 7 Action News reporter Anu Prakash joins us live from the scene to tell us how Brown is being remembered and what police are saying. Anu.
Well, Glenda, Detroit police tell me that homicide investigators are still working on this case, still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting here on 3 Mile Road just off of Mack. Meanwhile, those who knew Brown say she was kind-hearted and a hard worker.
She was a sweetheart. She was a good person. She was the type of person that would look out for you, do whatever, she could to help you.
Bushman, host of the Bushman Show on 97.9 WJLB, first got to know Jobina Brown 3 years ago. He called her JB. She was the manager and aunt of Detroit rapper T. Grizzly. She also managed Detroit rapper Sada Baby. Sources say on Tuesday night around 9:30, the 41-year-old was sitting in a Chrysler 300 with 2 other men here on 3 Mile just off of Mack. Police say as one of the men got out of the car, she was shot and killed.
JB, I love you. I miss you, but I will never forget about you. You were a queen and you were awesome.
Bushman says he's been getting calls and comments on social media from people across the country, those who've gotten to know Brown and some who are fans of T. Grizzly. Bushman says Brown was a young woman who was committed and kind.
It was like her first time managing, but she grasped the knowledge of how to manage an artist and and was running with it. And he's been very successful.
After hearing about her death, he shared this video of Brown in the studio with T. Grizzly in May of 2018. She was fixing his hair, taking care of him like Bushman says she always would.
I wanted to share something for people to remember her by. When you're behind the scenes, you don't always get the credit for the things that you do. And I want people to understand who she was and what she meant to T. Grizzly, Sada.
And as he continues to pay tribute to her, he just hopes the questions surrounding who took her life won't remain unanswered much longer.
Just want to know why. What made you do that? You know, what caused it? What was going on in your mind and in your life that you felt like you had to pull a gun out and pop?
Now, I did reach out to T. Grizzly's management company, but haven't heard back yet. Meanwhile, if you have any information that can help police solve this case, please call Detroit Police Homicide. Live on the city's east side.
At the time, no arrest was made. Police made a flyer for $2,500 for information leading up to an arrest in JB's demise. But T. Grizzly decided to make a track in dedication to JB. Check it out.
So you know your favorite rapper wanna never let them guys get you. I would've shot him, left him dying, leaking in the street. Wouldn't have ran with smoke.
But just 2 months after JB lost her life, the feds and the state had made an arrest. A place 4.5 hours away from each other, a little under 300 miles in Chicago, Illinois. A man that was also connected to one of T. Grizzly groomsmen, also on his rap label, whose name is Booker, real close to Lord Durk and OTF. Apparently, the perpetrator and Booker are from the same neighborhood. They also go by 600 in Chicago. His name was Jermaine Whedon, aka Wu-Tang. Now, when Wu-Tang was first picked up, it was an open murder, a felony firearm charge. But what a lot of people don't know is that Wu-Tang already had a serious criminal background. This wasn't no first-time offender. In fact, back on May 12, 2016, he had a felony conviction for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon in a vehicle in Cook County. He was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment. And second, on March 15, 2018, just 2 years later after that, he had a felony conviction again for unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon in Cook County, in which he was sentenced to 42 months in prison, which lets us know that Wu-Tang not supposed to be around firearms. Now, I wanted to make all that clear, because he was later caught with a firearm that was illegal in Chicago, which we'll later discuss. And the feds got that case. And what they did is they dropped it for the moment, because he did get found with a firearm that has did another crime across state lines. And they let him deal with the state for now. And we just wonder why. But they also did something that I want you guys to pay attention to as well. In the state case, gave this habitual offender a reasonable bond for murder. As mentioned, we wonder why. But at this point, we know this is no ordinary case, and some folks believe he was let out on purpose, maybe even being used as bait, or even working with somebody. Either way, something is off. Now, when JB lost her life, Wu-Tang was on probation, and he had a tether. And we'll later explain how that played on helping solving this case for the state and the feds. October 19, 2019, just 2 months after JB lost her life, Wu-Tang was arrested in Chicago, Illinois. It was around 12:06 p.m. when officers from Chicago Police Department were on a routine patrol when they responded to another officer report of a male and one female sitting inside of a stolen vehicle parked in the alley behind 5920 South Calumet Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. The reporting officer had confirmed that the vehicle was stolen by checking the vehicle license plate in the law enforcement computer database. When responding to CPD, officers pulled into the alley. They observed the male subsequently identified as Wu-Tang, aka Jermaine Whedon, and a female standing near the stolen vehicle, a blue Nissan Versa with New York license plate. Now keep that vehicle in mind. As the responding officers exited the patrol car and approached Wu-Tang, he fled from officers on foot. After a brief foot chase, the officers apprehended Wu-Tang and placed him in handcuffs. As Wu-Tang physically resisted the officers when placed against the police car, a Glock 23 40 cal semi-automatic handgun bearing serial number PAZ363 fell out of Wu-Tang's left pants leg. The handgun was loaded with 12 rounds of ammunition with the head stamp marking SIG 40 S&W. During the subsequent search of the stolen blue Nissan, CPD officers recovered an extended magazine from the passenger side door. Now fam, would you believe this man had the same firearm and same stolen vehicle during the night that JB lost her life? Well, it's true. When it came to the rental, the car was a Hertz rental car that had been set to be returned to Hertz on August 24, 2019. Hertz filed a stolen police report in September of 2019. The following year, February 2020, DPD received notification from the MSP lab where they test the firearms, the ballistics. They confirmed that that firearm that Wu-Tang was caught with in Chicago was the same firearm used to take the life of JB. May she rest in peace. Now, at this point, fam, I know a lot going through your head, but at least for the moment, Wu-Tang gets arrested. And the following year, as mentioned, police, at least the feds stepped in, but they was already in, but they gave him one count of a firearm taken in from state lines, and they end up dismissing that case in 2021, letting him take on the challenge for the state for now. And after being arrested for over 5 years, the state gave him a $75,000 10% cash bond on a tether, in which he paid. But that was crazy, because as mentioned, he was arrested for all that time, and his trial was coming up. But the world didn't know. Now, Wu-Tang will only be out for just 3 months before starting trials just this past Monday, July 14, 2025. And while the feds keep a close eye, and for some reason, when this case has started back up for trial, they released a $2,500 reward again, as if the guy they caught with all this evidence isn't enough, or not the sole person responsible, which probably indicates a recent bond and the feds letting go of the first charge for now. Now, the Family TV will hopefully start filming from now on this trial on Twitch and YouTube, on the second channel, and many more. But I was able to catch it today, although the audio wasn't allowed for screen recording while looking. You can only screen record if the audio picks up from another device. And I didn't know that today. But I took some key notes. And the house that T Grizzly allegedly stopped at the day JB lost her life to go inside. Remember we said that was his aunt's house, another aunt, but she took the stand today. And to sum up 8 hours for you guys in 60 seconds, I say this. That rumor that's floating around that T Grizzly got his alleged aunt pregnant, the state believes that. Not the Family TV, not Reddit, the state. And there was one damaging answer from the aunt on the stand. And it seemed like it was bigger than the alleged defendant. The question was asked by the state, does she remember the aunt mentioning that when T Grizzly heard the shots inside the home, he ran to the window to see what was going on? The aunt responded, no. She didn't say that.
I said they must be tearing him up right now. Yeah. All good, man. So the night everything happened, man. Can you kind of go over that night with us? I know y'all was at the studio. I seen you on your Instagram.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever. And I'm going to my cousin's house, my older cousin. Mm-hmm. He was real close with my pops. It's like my pop's brother. Mm-hmm. And I always try to, you know what I'm saying, show him some love, because that's another wound we really ain't healed from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I went over there and I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas you just can't, you got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses.
Okay.
And stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person.
Okay.
It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie,
mm-hmm.
she about to open the door. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying? Behind me, I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
she was in the. So what was the vehicle? She was in the car. Like
yeah, she was in the car. She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on, and to if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So, was you had to enter the back door or something?
Yeah, I walked
side door. Okay, I get you. Okay,
but basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Okay.
So we in the front. We looking. I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street. So I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some. I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
But my cousin still came out there with a gun though. So I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off.
Okay.
So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why would y'all leave me over here?
Right.
You feel me? You could at least call me and told me, like, it's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? That my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas opened my door trying to get at me. Ended up hitting her up.
Where'd they hit her on the body?
They hit her on her side and in her arm. She didn't get hit in her head or her face and that, just all on her side. You feel me?
How many
on
times?
The side where her heart at.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, on the side like where her heart at too, so that shit was fucked up. She got shot like that before a long time ago with my uncle.
Okay.
His car got shot up and she got hit in the exact same place, but she lived. You know what I'm saying? Because she went straight to the hospital.
Okay.
My uncle drove straight to the hospital as soon as it happened. But
was she alive when did she die on the scene or the hospital?
I don't even. I think that no, she died at the hospital. She was still alive. She was still breathing and everything. She called me.
She called you
while she was shot. She called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying.
Oh,
she couldn't really form no words. You know what I'm saying? But like niggas was coming for me because they opened my door.
Okay.
And was shooting in the car. They hit her 8 times though.
And you have no idea where this came from?
No, I ain't got no idea where it came from, but it ain't even matter where it came from. Who I felt like everybody was a suspect. I felt like everybody was a suspect. So even if a person wasn't a suspect, if I didn't like that person, it was escalated. My dislike for them was escalated times 10.
Now we laid it all out. The come up, the tragedy, the arrest, the strange bond, the trial. You see just how deep the situation runs. And even though the facts are still on the table, the silence around the case speaks just as loud. You got federal interests that suddenly disappeared, and the suspect with a serious rap sheet walking free on bond. In a courtroom now, being told the victim may have been pregnant by one of Detroit's biggest rap stars. On top of that, you got a key witness, the aunt, saying T Grizzly didn't even react when the shots went off. To the streets, that don't sound right. To the court, it raises questions. To the fans, it's a full-blown mystery. Now, it's time for you guys to let me know how you feel in the comments. I keep you guys updated as more develop. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Even if I'm making jokes about you, if I'm saying SNS with the mustard shirt, he getting bookings. He called me and said, "Thank you, Joe. My bookings are going up. We the hottest moving out here right now." Yeah, what up, y'all? This is Joe Crack.
No, it is your boy.
My bad, y'all. My bad. So did you hear that? Did you hear that? T Grizzly got caught up.
Yeah, for sure.
So it makes you think. Damn, these guys really go through it, huh? For real.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest with you. But it does give it like a sad kind of feel. You know?
Yep. How could you do that, though? You know? There's an iron guy hit up 8 times, you know? 8 times. So it was a friend of the family, eh?
For sure, set up vibes.
And that's the thing, you know? Nowadays, it seems like that's the way things are going. These younger people. Pure backdooring, setting up, backbiting. You know?
Yeah. It's different.
Also, the music is trash. But they say that shit is hard. You know? Talking about ops and popping perkies. You know?
Yep.
That's the way it goes, eh?
Life is cheap in some places, man. No real morality.
That's because they want to follow the European, you know? Because ghetto, the term ghetto first started in Europe, you know? They ain't had shit. They had to live in ghettos and all that gang shit. That's a European thing. Man. So they're used to that, you know? Row houses and bullshit. Dope being sold, you know? That's all a European thing, man. They always been doping up each other. Being cut up. So, the quicker we know the origins of certain things, the more understanding we'll have about everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was all done by design. So, all right. R.I.P. to you, little Bentley, man. You know,
Fair enough.
the rapper. You know what I'm saying? I just need to switch the topics into some more instructive, you know? All that killing and killing only gonna lead to one thing. And y'all know what that is. It's your boy Mac Mizzle. You know my slogan. Keep it real in the field.
And forget how they feel.
And also, like, subscribe, comment. Let's talk about, finding an alternative to all this madness. Because the sun ain't gonna shine forever. As long as they're here, you might as well shine together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Salute to Diddy on that one, but it is what it is. I'm out. Peace.